What's shaking? Hey, I'm Rick Jordan, and today we're going all in. I was at an event this past week, and I was speaking on stage, and I was talking about a bunch of different things, and it kind of tagged off an episode that I had done before about just start. If there's something that you have, the dream that you're going after, but there was a moment in this to where I've had a couple people say, man, I really got chills when you said this line. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, because this one line kind of like was the climax of the talk. And it really can make an impact in your life because it completely shifts your mindset. And there's a lot of, there's psychology, like real psychology behind this when it comes to mindset shifts and actually being able to visualize your future, right? This isn't manifestation stuff. I had a conversation about that too, because it's almost like the two opposite ends are, hustle culture and manifestation culture, which I think are both toxic. So we're not going to say that this is manifestation culture, but this puts you into the realm of something that's possible, because there's a lot of times that you can actually say, you know what, that there's no way I could do that. There's no way that all the stars can align, because even if you don't put it on yourself, which it's always typically a self-limiting belief that will keep you from achieving something or obtaining something that you want, you can project that out on other things and say, you know what, well, that's never going to happen because this would never happen to me, or these things won't line up, or there's no way that situation could take place for me to even take advantage of that. And I talked a little bit about luck too before I give you this line that was like the climax of the thing that people are like, oh man, that's chills. I also talked about luck and actually getting to a point of compassion, because I've had similar things in my life to where people will say, oh, you're just lucky. And in those moments, it's pissed me off. Because I'm like, do you know how hard that I've worked to get here? Do you know how much effort, time, money, relationship sacrifice, everything that I've done to get to this point is all like behind the scenes? I mean, it was Damon John, I believe, who said, I'm the overnight success that took 10 years. And there's no truer statement than that. So when I heard it's like, oh, Rick, you're just lucky. I used to take offense to that. But now, this was years ago. And as I've grown, because you need to continue to do self-growth throughout everything that you do, you need to continue to have self-growth. And what I have determined about luck is that luck does happen, because situations do come into your life that you have no control over. However, if you want to call it the universe or anything else, let's just keep it on ground level today without the woo-woo stuff, and just let's pretend that stuff happens to you that you just don't control. And I'm talking good things happen to you. Really, really good things happen to you. It's pretty awesome. However, where luck comes into place, it's like if you take a look back, you absolutely have to know what to do with that luck. And that's the part that takes that 10 years to become that overnight success when it comes to luck, is all the time and effort, mistakes, heartache, everything that you've gone through those last 10 years, that decade, to when that situation comes across your path, you're like, oh, I could do something with this. And most of the times it really is all in your head, to where you actually think, oh, I could do something with this. So I fully believe that luck can happen when it comes to things outside of you, but it's what you do with those situations is what you have to be ready for. So you have to be ready for that luck in order for you to be able to do something with it. And as I was diving into this with everyone there, and then I got to this scenario, right, to where I was talking about the past versus the future and being in the present. And I said, what if this were true? You ready for this? This was the line. What if this were true? Because if people say it's like the past doesn't exist, the past is done, the past is over, it's like move on from that, that was what was going on. I know you've heard that 80,000 times from all these motivational speakers. It's like the past is done. I once heard somebody actually say something really intelligent about that, saying that, the emotions you can leave back there so you don't have resentment, regret, all those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but you take the learnings from that, which means that it did exist. Now it could be over, right? But at the same time, here you are and you remember these things, okay? Here you are right now. So the question came up, it's like, does the past really exist? And this was where I shifted everybody's mindset. It's like, take a look at where you are today, because today you are living in your future's past. It's mind-blowing, right? Today you are living in your future's past. It's pretty insane when you think about it that way, because today, if you're taking a look at something that you want to go after, and even that lucky situation that could come across your path in the future, what are you going to do today to make sure that you're ready for that? Or what do you need to do today? Just literally today, not tomorrow, not the next day, not the next day after that, because it's hard to focus on that stuff. It's hard to think of all these steps in a row to where you feel that, oh my gosh, I get overwhelmed because I've got all this stuff to prepare for. I've got 87 things that I think I need to accomplish before I get to this moment in my future. Because if I'm living today in my future's past, what do I need to do today to get ready? But I'm telling you, just look at today. Every morning when you get up, because this is truly going all in, every morning when you get up, ask yourself the question, what can I do today? And that's the only thing that you have to worry about. What can I do today to advance myself to that point where I'm looking at my future, where I want to be? Because when you take a look at, if you're saying today I am in my future's past, you're already putting yourself in that future mode to where it's like, wow, I can actually see this stuff around me. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a business that you're starting. Maybe it's just extreme wealth. Maybe it's in your current job, but you've been promoted 7 times at that point and you're making 3 times as much as what you were. And now you're starting to see all these things around you. What does that mean? There's people working for you. There's a great relationship that you have with a loved one. There's all these things that are surrounding you. So put yourself in that and recognize, I am living in my future's past. Then you can take a look and be like, is this really a past that actually can get me to that future? When you shift your mindset in that mode, that's when you can start saying, okay, well, today I'm making a choice. I'm making a decision. Because if those two don't line up, if my future and that future's past or today don't line up, there's something that has to change. It's very simple for this. And a lot of people ask me how I dropped so much weight, right? And I never understood this because I used to answer the question of, well, I just made the choice and then that was it. And I could never relate what I did to anybody else because I see so many that struggle with weight and getting healthy and nutrition and all these things. But this is, now that I recognize what I did, it's like I put myself in my future where I wanted to be, saw myself with a flat stomach, saw myself with so much energy, saw myself without my knees hurting, literally walking upstairs without my knees hurting. I played baseball for 9 years as a catcher, and then I was also 90 pounds overweight. That's not a good combination. So I saw myself walking up these steps without my knees hurting. And then I look back, it's like, oh, well, that's easy because what I'm doing right now, if that's my future's past, no, I'm actually living in a different future's past right now. Being overweight, eating 3 cookies and a big glass of milk every single night, getting fast food all the time. I am living in a different future's past. I don't like that. So you know what? If I see the future that I want, that past looks a whole lot different. I know you're following me on this because if you've got 2 different futures, right? You've got the one that you're heading towards right now. And then you've got the one that you want it to be, that when you close your eyes, you start to dream of all those things that you wanted to be in your life. And then when you backtrack those, almost like Back to the Future, right? It's like you have the power right now to change your future's past. It's like you can take a time machine and be like, you know what? The future that I'm living in right now, coming back to today, which is that future's past, does not match up with the future that I want. Which means that something has to change. Whatever that is, you know what that is. You might not know the how, but you know what. You absolutely know what. And that could be the decision, the choice that you make today is to find out the how. That's it. Because just that one shift, when you look at all these sci-fi movies and everything, just pretend that they're real for a moment, right? That one shift will start to take you down a different trajectory towards that future. A different future. When you just open your mind and say, okay, you know what? I want to, I don't know how, but I'm going to go out today and I'm going to find out how. That's a choice because that's an action. That's with intention. So today, which future do you want to have? Do you want the future right now? Is your future that you've always thought about when you close your eyes? Are you living in that future's past? Or do you need to make a change towards the past that you need to align with for that future that you've always wanted? Take that time machine today. Put yourself where you want to be. Go all back, because today you make that choice, and then you do every single day. You ask that question, what can I do today? And it becomes easier when you think about today as the past of your future, because it's like it's already happened. Isn't that powerful? It's like the past has already happened, just as like your real past. But when you're like, that's my future, which means that all these things have already happened, so I've already won. Now I just have to live it out. I get to go through the journey. I've already won. That's powerful. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope this changes your life today. Go all in.